These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before
I agree with you.
You twice.
I've been claiming my time. I agree with you. I agree with you. During the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
This wasn't a routine hearing. It turned explosive in seconds. A congressman accused the attorney general of lying under oath, right to her face, on camera. The room froze, tensions surged, and what happened next is something Americans need to see.
Thank you, Attorney General Bondi, for being here today. I'm going to show you two photos.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you two photos of former Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. Under the law Congress passed, you were allowed to redact photos to protect the victims of Epstein's sex trafficking operation. You redacted the photos of this victim's face because you were following the congressional law. Is that correct?
I'm sorry, that we redacted the victim's
Because you were
face?
following the congressional law, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have now established that please put the photos back up, that we are looking at a sex trafficking victim. Under the Federal Victims Trafficking Protection Act, not only is Jeffrey Epstein guilty, but anyone who patronizes Epstein's sex operation is also guilty of a crime. That's why I find it absolutely despicable that you sought to protect Epstein's clients, like former Prince Andrew. Last July, you closed the case on Epstein's abusers. The July 2025 memo from your Department of Justice stated, quote, "We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties." These two photos, please put the photos back up. These two photos staring you in the face are evidence of a crime and more than enough evidence to predicate an investigation against former Prince Andrew. So I ask you, Attorney General Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before
I agree with you.
You twice.
I've been claiming my time. I agree with you. I agree with you. During the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them. So I want to move on to another man.
Can I answer
Donald
that,
Trump.
though?
I want to move on to another
Can I answer
question.
your question about protecting
You answered the question.
You're saying no. I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's the video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be released.
I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
President Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock.
to sign the legislation. This is
Time
ridiculous.
belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on the cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized this operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing
The
concludes.
gentleman has expired.
Moments like this are rare, not because congressional hearings lack drama, but because elected officials almost never escalate to accusing a top law enforcement official of dishonesty under oath in such blunt terms. And when it happens, it signals something deeper than political theater. It reveals how fractured trust inside the government has become, especially around issues tied to accountability and justice. Here's what actually unfolded, and more importantly, why it matters. The exchange centered on questions about how federal authorities handled evidence connected to the Jeffrey Epstein trafficking network. The line of questioning wasn't just about one individual or one investigation. It went directly to the responsibility of the Justice Department to pursue potential wrongdoing wherever the evidence leads, regardless of status, influence, or political fallout. By referencing redacted photos and statutory obligations under federal trafficking law, the congressman wasn't simply presenting visual material. He was attempting to establish a framework. If victims were identified and protected under the law, then logically the next step should involve scrutiny of anyone connected to that exploitation network. This argument was designed to test whether investigative standards were applied consistently or selectively. When the conversation shifted toward broader accountability, including references to past attorneys general and prior administrations, something important happened. The focus moved from policy to institutional credibility. This is where hearings stop being about legal procedure and start being about public trust, because for Americans watching, the underlying question becomes simple. Does the system pursue justice equally, or does influence shape outcomes? The confrontation escalated further when the discussion turned to allegations and witness statements that had not been acted upon. That moment highlighted a fundamental tension in oversight hearings. Lawmakers often present claims or testimony to push agencies toward further investigation, while officials respond by defending established findings or evidentiary thresholds. The clash between those roles is inevitable. But when accusations of dishonesty surface, it transforms disagreement into institutional conflict. This is why exchanges like this resonate beyond the chamber. Congressional oversight is one of the few mechanisms designed to publicly challenge executive authority. It's messy, imperfect, sometimes uncomfortable, but it's intended to force transparency, provoke answers, and expose gaps between what agencies say and what lawmakers or the public believe they should be doing. At the same time, it's important to remember that hearings operate in a political environment. Statements made in these rooms often reflect advocacy, persuasion, and narrative framing as much as they reflect adjudicated fact. For the public, the responsibility is to engage critically, to distinguish allegation from proof, rhetoric from verified outcome, and confrontation from resolution. Because ultimately, accountability isn't measured by who lands the sharpest line in a hearing. It's measured by whether credible evidence leads to action, whether institutions uphold the rule of law consistently, and whether transparency strengthens confidence rather than erodes it. If you found value in breaking this down and understanding what was really happening beneath the surface of that confrontation, make sure you stay engaged, share your perspective below, subscribe to Democratic Lens, and keep pushing for informed public dialogue. The more Americans understand these moments, the stronger democratic oversight becomes.